The shipping industry is ripe for disruption and for a dramatic technological upgrade. So it was apparent that shipping containers cannot remain these dumb boxes that just go everywhere. They have to have eyes, ears, a brain, something that would let us, the people who control the container and the cargo owners who have valuable cargo inside these containers, have a way to control it and have some way of understanding what's going on with your cargo once it leaves the factory. So we wanted to put brains on containers. We wanted the containers to have eyes, ears, and a brain. And it just so happened that every container has a standard component called the container vent used for pressure equalization. And it looks like this. So that is a standard thing that goes on every container around the world. Every depot around the world knows how to install it. And the idea was, why not replace this standard part with this, which looks exactly the same, but it has all the electronics that you need in order to make a container smart.
No more, now with the Bee. Powered by Roambee. Portable, rugged, wireless. The Bee contains a full array of condition and location sensors, ensuring you always know the status and location of your important goods and assets. The zero-touch, pre-configured design with no on and off switch makes it easy to deploy and virtually tamper-proof with a rugged, fire-resistant case. The Bee has a global roaming SIM that can transmit and receive messages in more than 170 countries. And it supports quad bands in both 2G and 3G configurations for use in any country that supports GSM networks. The Bee also utilizes location-based services through the telco platform when the Bee is unable to establish a connection or when it needs to conserve power. Data can be stored internally when the device is unable to transmit data, with the data being available anytime through the server. An optional active GPS antenna comes with the Bee and can increase the ability to receive a GPS signal even when embedded within a shipment. The Bee configuration and firmware can be updated over the air through SMS or data session commands using a combination of BLE, Wi-Fi, or GSM. The device is compact, weighing only 317 grams or 11 ounces, equivalent to an external hard drive, and standing roughly as tall as a mobile phone, while being only ever so slightly wider. The Bee has a depth of only 25 millimeters or 1 inch, and the discreet, fully self-contained design makes it easy to attach to an asset or drop into any shipment. It's easy to mount the Bee as a hotspot, shrink wrap or dropped into containers and cases on a pallet, or it can be magnetically affixed to a vehicle or container. The Bee can be charged using a standard micro USB cable, while the long-life rechargeable battery can last for up to 1,000 days at 1 ping per day or for 90 days at 1 ping per hour. In addition, the covert backup battery provides up to an extra 60 days of battery life.
Robots are the future.
We really were interested in making real robots do real things with real people in the real world.
The future is now.
You are on board a robot, a real-life robot. And nestled in this warehouse deep in Silicon Valley, there are many of them. This is Fetch Robotics.
Robots don't take jobs, they take tasks, and they work collaboratively with people to do those tasks.
Fetch robots help take a package from point A to point B, so the pickers, the workers pulling the items from the shelves, don't have to waste time on the transport.
If a picker 6 times an hour walks 4 minutes to a consolidation area, that means 24 minutes of their time is now not being used.
One of Fetch's early customers, RK Logistics, has become enamored with the robots and teamed them up with SAP Extended Warehouse Management software, specifically developed to simplify complex logistics and manage high-volume warehouse operations.
We need SAP's connectivity to do the value-added work with robotics, and that's the next step in introducing robotics into our operations.
RK Logistics has been using Fetch robots since June 2016 and is now in the implementation phase of SAP EWM.
We'll be able to move the data from SAP to the robot, so the robot can then act on that data, perform the workload, and then pass the results of that work back to SAP.
With SAP Leonardo and the SAP Cloud Platform, Fetch Robotics can take warehouse management digital.
SAP software can direct robots to locations within a facility. Our software takes the information from SAP and chooses what robots will do the task. Additionally, you can display information from the SAP system directly on the screen. If you could display a picture of the goods, what the SKU number is for helping pickers be more efficient.
We're not trying to replace the human element in our workload. We're trying to enhance the workload for our people. Getting rid of the tedious work, the counting, the reaching, the picking. And so I think that it's a very good mixture of human and technology.
What's more, Fetch says RK Logistics' story isn't rare. It's a story they're hearing across the board.
Most of our customers get a return on investment in the 3 to 6 month time frame.
Blick is basically the passport for items on load carriers. It replaces the barcode by letting the item know itself where it is in the process and in the world. So you get a warehouse, you spend 30% of your time tracking items by scanning barcodes. Blick now replaces the barcode and you don't have to scan at all and save 30% of all working hours. That means Blick can save every facility we are installed in $10 million a year. The logistics industry has basically the choice by manually scanning barcodes, using expensive RFIDs, or using even more expensive ultra-wideband technology. People on the shop floor want to get their job done, which is moving crates from A to B, and not interacting with complex computer systems. Blick basically enables the workforce to work more productively. That means their work has less interruptions, and the data they produce is even more accurate. In a couple of years, we want to attach Blick to any item in the world and make the entire supply chain transparent. At a low cost, easy to use, no strings attached. The great thing was that we had customers before we had an actual product. So we could develop the product and the technology around the use case. As eventually we came up with basically the perfect product for that use case, which is asset tracking, item tracking in warehouses and the intralogistics space. So companies with warehouses have around 900 people in every warehouse on the shop floor. Each of them costs them about 68,000 euros a year. And 1/3 of this working time is wasted basically scanning barcodes, finding lost items. If you eliminate 50% of the scannings, then you can save them 10 million euros every year. So currently companies are facing all kinds of problems related to not being able to track the flow of goods, which of course is wasted time by searching them. It's insurance premiums because of delayed shippings. We developed our own communication stack, we developed our own localization technology, and we have a proprietary receiver. So basically all the core technology parts are developed by our own. Our technology in the core is protected and nobody can copy that. One of the greatest feedbacks we got so far was from one of our customers. He called the technology game-changing by reducing the cost of the actual technology and reducing the infrastructure needs by 90%. Basically, his point was that this technology will be the one that will be adopted in the entire marketplace because it's actually working.
Well, we're working on a fantastic industry, which is huge by scale. We're talking about a 250 billion euro market, and we are solving an actual problem. The whole industry is really much offline. So today, if a big shipping company wants to work with a forwarding company, they usually get the request, hey, can you please send me a fax for that? So this is certainly not how you want to work in a very much digital economy. And this is what I've seen when I was working for big shippers as a consultant. And this is where I feel we should really change how that industry works.
A customer, like for them to find, to get their transport carried out, they have to pick up the phone or the fax even, or do it by email maybe, but for them it's a hassle, they have to call 12 different people and then get a quote and then eventually lock in the transport and then it gets done, right? And then they do it with the next guy and it's going to be different. They will have a different process, the document is going to look different. If you do this via us, not only can you just book it online immediately, and do we offer you, even to integrate directly if you're, for example, an SAP customer, it's also always going to be the same process. So you get an immediate price feedback, it's the same process, you get status updates, and you can download your invoice online, so this is a lot of convenience. And it makes the whole thing transparent. The logistics market is one of the last industries to not be, online or digitalized, in a big way. As a carrier company, currently, what we see when we talk to them is hard for them to stay connected with this. That's really the service that we see to them. We want to connect our partners, the carrier companies, into the digital future. It's hard for them to provide these kinds of integrations or solutions, right? I mean, these are not technical companies; they are trucking companies. And they specialize in moving the freight around, and we specialize in connecting them.
So SAP customers can actually move away from sending emails, faxes, or phone calls to their carriers, but they can actually push through that information digitally.
And this is why partnering with SAP is so great, because going from Excel, fax, and emails to a web ordering process is great, but connecting the systems directly, that's perfect.
So we get plenty of shipments from customers. We look at the data and then we start optimizing, which can mean that we either build round trips, for example, or that we start combining loads. So that means that we have several customers using the same truck and that we combine these in a very efficient manner and fill up the trucks. Yeah, so back in mid-2016, we started off with approximately 5 people. Now we are at 42, and let's see what 2018 becomes. The company is growing rapidly, and we have really big clients in the pipeline.
It's going to be an interesting year.
Actually, transport planning could be quite easy. You have all the means and all the software tools that you need in order to really plan and optimize all your transport. But what happens then is, as soon as the transport starts, the real world crashes in. The real world is full of traffic jams, weather situations, waiting times at the borders, missed ferry connections, ships that depart late, and you name it. All the real-world things that happen, and you cannot prevent them to happen. But what you can do is try to monitor them and include them in your real-time transport monitoring.
We changed the way how the planners plan their trucks.
So in the past, transport managers really worked through their transports one by one. If they had 100 transports to monitor, they were clicking through them one by one, and they were desperately searching for any incidents and anything they could do about delays. We turned that around, and we're now showing them exactly on which transports do they have to focus and tell them what they can do about that. So right now with our service, we're giving our customers a saving of €4.50 per each euro they spend on our service. We do that by giving them full transparency about upcoming delays so that they can react in advance to anything that will happen throughout their transports. Having exact ETA predictions of your own supply chain enables the industry to really stay in control of their whole processes. For instance, the automotive industry is heavily relying on just-in-time and just-in-sequence transports, And for that, you definitely need ETA prediction. We're plugging into SAP solutions and help the SAP customers really get a real-time view on their existing data and help to monitor their transports as they go, really. SAP was really hungry to innovate. So we came together and quickly noticed there is a lot of potential for really bringing additional value to the customers. And we saw a lot of technical connection points here that really made it very easy to work on innovation together. We see Synfio becoming a world-class platform for ETA management, connecting all the supply chain participants, giving them full transparency about the transport and enabling them to work together efficiently, finally.
There are other companies out there who do ETA predictions. We are the only ones doing this for intermodal transportations, and we're doing it for companies of all sizes, not only the large ones.
Our goal here to support the industry and becoming digitized and really becoming transparent to each other and having a transport process that is under full control of the companies.
Getting the industry to use the existing tools, the existing improvements in IT technology, for instance, to make their business and their world working better and easier.
And we're very excited about being a part that shapes that industry.
With demanding consumer needs and challenging tasks, the classical production line is no longer contemporary. To be able to cope with more and more individual car configurations, we need something more adaptable. We do this by breaking the framework into different stations. With the modular production, the cars will only head for necessary assembling stations on self-driving robots. The processing time is adjustable. It depends on the complexity of different configurations. To guarantee a correct operation, every single step is automatically checked when the cars leave the modules. The cars find their way through the plant by automatically choosing the station with the shortest waiting time and queue. And if there are extraordinary changes, it is no problem to add or remove another station to the system. With autonomous and synchronized material delivery, the assembly will be way faster and easier for the employees. The processing time of each module can be adjusted by the employee's capabilities. The modular production enables us faster shipping, more individuality, and even during production, changes are still possible. This production approach will set the course for the future. And the best thing, it is already on its way to us.